everybody, welcome to another episode of The Hot Seat for the C-Suite. I'm your host, Stefan Lubinsky, and as always, we're going to get right to it and skip all the BS that drives me crazy. Today's episode, I am welcoming yet another CEO. His name is Dave Scott. He's the CEO of Evil Genius Games. Welcome, Dave.
Hey, thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure. And where are you hailing from today, Dave? Where are you?
So I'm headquartered in San Mateo, California, just south of San Francisco.
Yes, I remember sitting in that traffic quite well for a long time and wishing I'd get off the peninsula. So let's get right to it. For those of you who haven't joined before, we have 7 straightforward questions. I'm going to put a clock up here for the very first one. Dave's got 60 seconds to be on point and succinct. If he goes over, I may remind him by doing that we've hit the 1 minute mark. I may not. I have ADHD. Sometimes I forget to set the clock too. That's not what's important. Let's just get to the 7 questions. And the first one, Dave, is the problem. What is the problem that your company is solving?
All right, so for 50 years, people have been playing tabletop role-playing games like Dungeons and Dragons in person around the dinner table. 150 million people worldwide make up a $30 billion market and actually play this game on a regular basis. And then COVID happened. And all of a sudden, people had to socially distance. People have moved away. I know that the people that I played with specifically, one moved to Miami, one moved to North Carolina, and we could no longer play this game around the dinner table. But yet we will still wanted to create and maintain that community, that connectivity to our friends and family. So that birthed the technological revolution, which now people are looking for, being able to recreate that exact same gaming experience, but to do it online with their friends and family at any time, anywhere around the world.
Super cool. And under 60 seconds. Good job. Next question is the size of the opportunity. You alluded to it a little bit by giving us the size of the market and the industry. But here's 60 seconds to go as deep as you like on how big an opportunity this is for your company.
Yeah, no, a lot of people don't realize how big this tabletop gaming industry is, right? And so it's actually a $30 billion industry, which is growing at 11.8% CAGR, and it'll be $50 billion by 2029. That's actually growing twice as fast as the video game industry. And a lot of people won't why. And the reason is because people are unplugging. They're looking for a community now. They're looking for ways to connect with other human beings, not sit on your couch with a headphone and play a game solo. And so this industry is actually replacing things like poker nights. And my mom used to play bridge, for example. And it's a burgeoning community of 150 million players, and it's bigger than you think.
It is. Is that globally, by the way, the 150 million players, or is that
it
domestic?
Is. It's globally. Yeah.
Well, I guess it can't be domestic because that would be half of America. So, all right, moving on to the solution. So how are you solving this problem? What's your unique take? And if AI plays a part of it, now it'd be interesting to hear about that.
So Evil Genius Games is one of the very few startups that's not AI focused. So we're unique in that way. We actually do 2 things. We create a flywheel. First and foremost, we create really great games. We create tabletop role-playing games that you can buy in physical stores or online, which allow you to recreate that magic of cinematic film. So we work with Hollywood studios to create games based off of like Rambo, Kong Skull Island, Pacific Rim. So that's first half of our business. The second half of our business is that we create an online SaaS-based subscription platform, which allows you to digitize that online gaming experience and bring it online. So you can play those exact same games online in a purely digital experience with friends and family anywhere around the world.
Are you able to do that as a hybrid? So I have 4 people here, but I've got 3 friends from Germany that also want to play. So, I've got people physically with me, but I also want players elsewhere. Is that possible, or is it one or the other?
Yeah, so before the technological revolution, 90% of people played it physically. Now it's about 50-50. So our solution allows you to be able to play, to actually bring your iPad right onto the dinner table so you can play in a more automated fashion. It allows you to play purely online in front of a desktop like you and I, or it could be a combination of the 2.
Very cool. Okay. So now let's talk about the traction. What kind of traction have you and Evil Genius Games have so far? It sounds like pretty good because if you're licensing these big kind of studio names, that doesn't sound like you're doing something from your basement.
Yeah, so since we actually launched, it's been like gangbusters. So we actually announced the very first set of games that we created on Kickstarter 3 years ago. And within the first 30 days, we raised $650,000 of pre orders. This is before we
Wow.
even developed the very first game. Since then, we've doubled our revenue every single year, and our core gaming engine business is profitable. Now, for the SaaS based business, which is the subscription business, which allows you to digitize those games and bring it online, we've only been around for 6 months, but check this out 20,000 weekly active users in 6 months' time, 3,500 subscribers, and we're growing 14% week over week. And this is all without a lick of marketing. We've been able to
Wow.
use free and organic marketing tools in order to grow, like working with influencers.
As somebody who has worked with or as a marketer, if we didn't have one as somebody who headed up sales, I will tell you that is one of the most impressive things that you can say just about any business. If you can really drive real growth, profitability, and do that without having to spend a tremendous amount of money on marketing and getting the word out, then that says a lot about how you're running that operation. So hats off. Let's talk about the vision now. What is the ultimate vision for the company?
I think it's a convergence of two things, right? One is the preservation of community, right? And so what a lot of people don't realize is that tabletop gaming is less about the game and it's more about connecting with your friends and family. So keeping those cohesive communities together is number one. And the second thing is that it's a hobby. And so giving the players and the users of our system the ability to create their own games, to actually be able to write their own stories on top of our game, to be able to tell their own stories, and then to be able to monetize it is really the future where I think we're going. So right
Wow.
now our platform has 80 games on it. Most of them are built by us. In 5 years from now, I think the majority of the games on our platform will be UGC. It'll be you and I building our own stories, our own games on top of it, and then
So kind of like
monetizing it as
a
well.
mashup of like Etsy and game creation, right? I can create my own game, but you're saying I can put it into the marketplace, and then people that love it can buy it. Now all of a sudden, I've got a side hustle out of making my game.
Yeah, yeah, and I've replaced Etsy with fan fiction, right? So there's a lot of really popular fan fiction sites where you can write your own sequel to Twilight. This is
Okay.
the same thing where you can build your own fan fiction, your own adventure world, and we have customers already doing it. And then we provide all the scaffolding. We provide the engine, the monetization tools, the audiences. And so
How
yeah, you could
cool.
be a plumber, but then you could also have this sci-fi world that you've created that thousands of people are playing, and it's a great accomplishment for that person.
Love it. What is the obstacle to reaching that vision?
I'm very, very excited about the fact that we have a tremendous amount of consumers. We have 45,000 people in our Discord community, and they're very vocal. They tell me exactly what they want. So the first time in my startup career, I actually have a very, very clear idea of what the roadmap looks like in order to maintain and monetize my customer base. What I need now is to execute. The financial means to execute, the team to execute. But the vision has never been clearer, and this has been a very unique experience for me throughout my 4 decade startup experience.
I have to say that I think a lot of companies should be envious of this idea and more companies should think about how they can do this, which is how can you launch something enough that, I mean, minimum viable product, whatever you want to call it, such that you can get definitive feedback about what the
Yes.
market wants and not guess and then have
Right.
to weed out the losers and hope that you've got a winner, which is basically like the drug R&D game. Instead, put out something that is a kernel of what this could be and let the users, the buyers, your clients, your customers say, this is what I actually want. Then you go out and you build it. And then the sales are going to be stratospheric because you've built what they've asked for. So I think that's fantastic. Talk to me about what's next. What is something that, whether it's going to be a press release about what's coming or a new feature or something that you're really excited about, what's something that's coming on the horizon you're looking forward to?
Probably a few things, right? So when it comes to the game publishing side, we continue to work with Hollywood studios to create games based off of famous IP. And so within the next couple of months, you should see some exciting announcements of collaborations that we're going to have with famous movie directors, film directors, famous IP that you've heard of, and to be able to create the next generation of games that we're doing. But above and beyond that, I think what you're going to start to see is that we're actually going to be introducing a brand new UGC platform, which allows people to build. So right now, our core engine, sort of our Roblox, is based on modern day action films. So it allows you or me or anyone else to build an action day adventure on that platform. Over the last year and a half, we've been working on a science fiction platform, which allows you to be able to recreate your own Star Wars or your own Star Trek or whatever you want to do in a science fiction capacity.
Man, I tell you, I am look, I'm not a tabletop gamer at all. Haven't been. I mean, the only tabletop game would have been, I don't know, Monopoly or whatever it was years ago. But I will tell you that this notion of building your own game in your own world is interesting to me. And I say that to you because I think if you can offer something not only that lights up a built-in community, that is to say the people that are playing, I don't know, Warhammer or Dungeons and Dragons or whatever these tabletop games are. Obviously, what you're offering makes total sense. I would be very excited about people like me who that's not on our radar. We don't go to those stores. I don't play those games. I'm not a member of any of that community, but the idea that I might be able to create my own world or game or something, that seems really, really interesting, especially if I don't have to be an expert at doing it because you've provided me all the tools.
And I'll give you an example, right? So, I'm a nerd. I'm going to create some sort of fantastical world about it. But we have one game designer on our platform who's from Africa. And he's actually creating an adventure game about his experiences as a child migrating through war-torn Rwanda.
Wow.
And so the role-playing experience doesn't have to be shoot 'em up. It doesn't have to be magic and dragons. It could also be one's life experience. And so for them to be able to recreate that experience on our platform, I think is an important achievement. And that's why I'm
I think
excited to
it's
have this
amazing.
program.
I think it's really, really cool. Dave, where do people go to learn more? What websites, if they want to speak with you, maybe they want to buy, maybe they want to be an investor, for all interested parties, where do they catch up with you?
Yeah, so our official website is www.evilgeniusgames.com. From there, you can get into our subscription platform, which is called Sidekick. If you're looking to play a game at your local retail store, we got another platform called Dispatch. And so all roads lead from evilgeniusgames.com.
Okay, and I know Dave is also on LinkedIn, so if you're more business minded, you can certainly find Dave on LinkedIn and follow him there and communicate with him there. Thank you so much for being on the hot seat. This was a great episode. You nailed all of the questions. If you want to get a hold of Dave, I'll make sure that all of those URLs go up on the screen. And yeah, thank you so much. And if you guys out there know somebody that should be sitting in the hot seat, they are the CEO of an up and coming startup, AI or otherwise, let me know. I'd love to meet them. Thanks, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.